Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special viewing of CPR for your travel business. I want to welcome everyone for this surprise pop up session that we're doing. This is so exciting. Give me 1 second. I want to open this up on the phone so I can kind of follow along and see who's here. And I want to make sure I'm being viewed right. Um, uh, 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 1 second. Here we go. All right, there we are. Okay, it looks okay, huh? Let me see something. 1 second. I just want to set something up. Is that better? Does that look better for you? I'm going to leave it like that. Then the blue. I don't know. I kind of like the blue, huh? Okay, so that's trivial. This is what we're here for. We're here for the CPR for your travel business. We want to breathe life back into your travel business. And we want to do it in a way that is beautiful, in just a good way, a creative way, practical ways, and relevant ways. So that's what we're going to go over today in the CPR for your travel business. There are so many travel agents out there that are struggling, that are saying they don't have enough clients, or saying they have the wrong kind of clients. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. And I want you to comment, put your comments below. If you're watching the replay, still comment, because we are monitoring the chat box and the comments, and we'll come back and answer any questions that you may have. So get your notebooks, pens, open up a fresh Word document, get out your Remarkables or any digital notebooks that you may have, and get ready to take some notes, get excited. And I want to know, where are you at in the industry? Those of you that are watching with us, are you brand new? Are you a seasoned travel advisor and just kind of stuck wanting to figure out how to really get this going? Where are you at in your travel business? Let me know in the comments below. I want to know. I want this to be an open conversation. I want us to have open discussions as we go through this, okay? All right. So let me tell you first a little bit about me, who I am, why I'm here, and why are you listening to me, right? So I am Shannon Cunningham. I'm the membership and engagement specialist at Gifted Travel Network. I have 20 plus years of travel experience. I like saying that, but then I don't, because that kind of gives away my age, right? But it's okay. So I was a lead corporate travel agent in a previous life. 42 years in this crazy business. Oh, bless you, bless you. So you're gonna understand some of the struggles for sure. I was a travel agency manager at a point in time in my career. I was the owner of Paradise Vacation Escapes, where I was an independent consultant, so it was my own travel business. And I am a proud ASTA member, a co-host of the ASTA Advocacy Awareness Day for going on 3 years in a row now. I'll be the co-host again this year. I am an Amazon best-selling author of Say Yes to the Honeymoon, the Expert's Guide to Planning the Perfect Honeymoon. So this is a marketing book I wrote when I had my travel business, Paradise Vacation Escapes, and it is on Amazon for purchase. It was available for purchase for my ideal clients. So I'll get into that a little bit later. I'm also a children's author of the book called The Santa Princess. And I am a retired photographer. I was in the photography business for 12 years, and I owned a photography studio. So what does that have to do with why I'm here and why I'm talking to you? Well, the photography, because I was in the travel business way back when. I was in it before there was the World Wide Web, like our friend here who was in it for 42 years. And it was a whole different ball game then. It was my job. I was an employee. I was a manager. I was a ticket processor at one time. I delivered airline tickets at one time. I stapled boarding passes to the airline tickets, right? It was just different then. Then I got out of it, and that's when I opened up a photography studio, and that was when I discovered my entrepreneurial spirit. That was when I really tapped into my creativity, being an entrepreneur, owning my own business, knowing those ups and down struggles, and being a creative person. I got burnt out on the business side of it. So I jumped back into the travel business and was in for a crazy, rude awakening. It wasn't like it was when I was first in it, right? I actually had to market. I had to be a business person. I had to do these things that I didn't think I was going to have to do. I mean, what's the deal? Why aren't people just calling me up and booking things? So that's who I am. And that road has taken me to be with GTN. I sunsetted my business, Paradise Vacation Escapes, in 2021. And I became a full-time employee at Gifted Travel Network. And I did that because I'm feeling so much more fulfilled being on this side of the travel industry, being able to talk to travel advisors like you, being able to help advisors, inspire them, show them that there is a better way, and helping them to be a successful entrepreneur in the travel business. Oh, yeah, airline tariffs. Wasn't that fun? And how about the hotel book? Yeah, we're really going way back. So now is the best time ever to be in the travel business. That is what I wholeheartedly, fully believe. Now more than ever, it's the best time to be in the travel industry. The travel industry has been hit hard over the years. We've been through some pretty tragic events that put a big damper on travel. We've been through swine flu where people didn't want to travel. We've been through Zika. People didn't want to travel because of the Zika virus. There was airline strikes. There was tainted alcohol scares in Mexico at a time. And there was 9/11. That when that happened, people said that people weren't going to travel again. That was a very tragic event, and it put a real hard hit on the travel industry. And now the coronavirus, I mean, the biggest gut punch ever to hit the travel industry, that actually paused the industry. You couldn't travel. That was pretty scary. But I believe, and we're seeing results of this now. 2021 was supposed to be the great rebound. People were going to really travel like crazy. And they did. There was some rebound. I don't know if it was all that great. But 2022, y'all, it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a really good year. There is really pent up demand. And this has created, the pandemic created a big desire for people to travel and travel now. Yes, Claudia, I truly believe it is the best time, and we're going to get into that. We are going to get into that. We have, the pent-up demand. When you're told you can't do something or you're not going to be able to do it, then you want to do it more. So that's what we're seeing. People are wanting to book travel, and they're realizing they missed out. Some are even wanting travel revenge. That's the way things are right now in the industry, and with the way things are in the industry, there's uncertainty. People don't want to have to second guess themselves. What do I need to get into this country? What do I need to do this? How do I do this? There's so many ever-changing rules. So many people are just confused, right? So they want an expert. They want a travel advisor, somebody they can trust to do their travel for them. That's one of the reasons why I think now is the best time to be in the industry. We're seeing this trend. I see this trend building. It's great this year. It's going to be outstanding next year, in my opinion, and what I think. And the reason I'm thinking this is, we have advisors in the GTN community who are booking trips like crazy. They are exhausted, burnt out because they're so busy. And it's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. They're excited about it because, over a year ago, they were not having this boom. And just an example to tell you, one of our travel advisors, it's a mother-son team with VIP travel experience. They promoted National Plan a Vacation Day. So if you don't know what it is, January 25th was National Plan a Vacation Day. That it happens every year. And so as a travel advisor, you need to know this because you can use this in your marketing toolbox. So Tammy and Justin did that. They put it on social media. They put it out in an email campaign that it was National Plan a Vacation Day. And as a result, they booked 13 new trips within a couple days. They booked good trips. They booked trips to Hawaii, Ireland, Italy, England, Scotland, Exuma, St. Lucia, Greece, Antigua, and Croatia. That is pretty incredible. I think that is and these 4 trips, or the majority of them, were for travel in 2022. I was talking to Tammy the other day, and she told me that people want to go within, her clients are calling and wanting to go within 1 to 3 months. So they are ready to go. It's that pent up demand. So people are searching for travel advisors. Virtuoso.com. Virtuoso is a consortia. If you're unsure who Virtuoso is, they have on their website a place where consumers can go to find a Virtuoso travel advisor. So on that site, they are experiencing 50% more search on that. And during 2021, Virtuoso had more than 200,000 requests from consumers to connect with a travel advisor during the pandemic. So the consumers know Virtuoso. They know Virtuoso will set them up with an affiliate, a travel agent that is a part of their consortia. And Virtuoso is luxury. So the people that are on Virtuoso are luxury clients. They are looking for experts. They are looking for people that specialize in Italy, that specialize in luxury travel, that specialize in adventure travel. So people are online and booking. So gone are those days where we were once booking agents and we were once, sitting at our desk, picking up the phone and just booking a reservation. Now we have the digital age. Now we have the World Wide Web. We have everything at our fingertips. Over 25, 30 years ago, you didn't have that. There were brick and mortar agencies. People would call, walk in, pick up a brochure on your brochure rack and ask you to book a 10-day cruise or ask you to book a weekend in New Orleans, just a hotel. Those were generalists. They had to book everything. They had to act like they knew everything, even though they didn't. And it kind of diluted their knowledge and their expertise. What consumers are wanting right now, and what we are teaching our advisors to do, is to become a specialist and to have a niche. That way you can better serve your clients. You can be the expert. That doesn't mean that they will need a travel agent, a different travel advisor every single time they book a trip, or that you'll only work with this client once. What this means is you're going to need to demonstrate your expertise, to be very clear and focused on what your specialty is. So here's a truth bomb for you. 70 to 75% of travel business owners are accidental hobbyists. They are someone that doesn't really treat their business like a real business. They don't act like the CEO of their travel business. They're still acting like a reservationist or a generalist, or I'll take anything and everything, but they're getting nothing because they're speaking to everyone. And when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one, right? So right now, less than 20% of the people that are working in the travel industry as travel agents or actual employees. The majority of of us are independent consultants, right? So this means that you have your own travel business. And some of you, the accidental hobbyists, I'm not saying you're one, but some of the accidental hobbyists don't have a serious approach. They're not thinking strategically about their business. They aren't thinking forward. They're not growing their business. They're just there doing what and if comes to them, right? There are a lot of things they don't do that could catapult their business into success. And it's things that we're going to go over, but it's things that you're like, I don't have time to do that. I don't know how to do it. I'm not going to do it. And you just block it and just go on. One of the ways to know if you're a hobbyist or not is if you aren't making any money, or if you're not making the kind of money that you want to make and should be making. You might get to go on a cool trip every now and then as a travel agent, and that's fun. But are you really making the steady income and having the career and life that you love and that you deserve? That's what the hobbyist is. And, it happens easily. And I'm telling you this because I was there. I was in those shoes. I was an accidental hobbyist, and you get into it because I was thinking about getting back into the travel business because I was getting burnt out on my photography, but it was my full-time job. How could I let that go? That's how I'm making money. But I want to do something different. I need to do something different. So, okay, I'll go back to travel. I did that. And that's what I went to school for. That's what I know. That'll be plan B. And it's actually plan A. And so I talked to a friend and she's like, all you need is a phone, a laptop, and Wi-Fi. And then you just start telling your friends and family, and they'll tell their friends and family, and just book anything and everything because you'll get the experience and you'll grow your business that way. Oh, and don't forget, you need to go online and do all the certifications, all the ones for all the hotels, all the cruises, all the tour companies, all the destinations. So that's what I did, right? And you know what? That takes a long time to grow and build a business that way. I mean, yes, you can grow a business that way, but it's going to take you about 5 to 10 years. And you're going to feel like you're spinning your wheels. You're going to feel like you're overwhelmed. And you're going to feel like you're struggling. That's exactly how I felt. That's what I did. And I was like, there's got to be a better way because I am not going to keep doing this and be successful. I mean, who wants to keep doing this for 5 to 10 years when you're struggling? So the good news is there is a better way. And if you are an accidental hobbyist and you aren't making the money in your travel business that you want to make, and you want to quit your job and quit doing travel as the side hustle, we're going to talk about that today. Because when I started paying attention to when I invested in myself and I invested in my business and decided to start thinking differently and start looking at my business in a strategic way and started planning and marketing and knowing my numbers and knowing where I want it to be and then reverse engineering how I was going to get there, setting those business goals, that is when I saw a huge improvement. Huge. And so much so that I almost don't want to tell you because I don't want to sound gimmicky, but my business improved. But then it also tells you where I was at and how little money I was actually making and little booking that I was doing. But for some reason, I thought I was busy. Maybe it was all those certifications that I didn't need, right? Because you don't need those certifications. We'll get into that later. But my business improved, y'all, 300%. 300. I'm not lying. We looked at the numbers. We thought it was wrong. We went back and redid the numbers and redid them again. And it was 300% in a year that my business grew. Once I started marketing, creating creative email campaigns, planning out my business, and owning my value. So I get it. You can turn your business around and you can be a successful travel entrepreneur. You can save your business and your sanity. So I'm going to show you how to administer the CPR for your business and breathe life back into it, or get it started in the right way. We're going to talk about the creative ways, the practical ways, and the relevant ways. And I'm going to show you examples of advisors. And I'm going to tell you some of my stories and examples of how I did it. They worked for me personally when I had my travel business. And that, like I said, this is why I'm no longer in the business. I felt it was time for me to share this with others and to be a part of the Gifted Travel Network team and help advisors move forward like they helped me move forward in my business and have the success that I did. And I just love this feeling of helping other advisors. So let's get clear. There are a lot of people out there in the travel industry that are making a lot of money. I know some. Some of them are some of my best friends. And there are people in the industry that are not making a lot of money. There were even advisors that made money in 2020 because they set up their business for success, and they made even more money in 2021 because they had it set up. And the ones that weren't making money in 2020, they took that time of pause to start putting into place these practices that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. And so they put those into place in 2020 and 2021, and they're seeing the results. They're seeing good results. So before you start getting into all of this, you need to know a couple things. We need to know these things before you get started, because I'm going to share with you 3 keys to success for those actually making money. But these 3 things are what you should know before you start doing that. And that is, you need to have a specialty. You need to know your ideal client. So before you know your ideal client, you have to have a specialty. And there are strategic ways to come up with finding your specialty. But the bottom line is you need to figure out what you're passionate about, what your brilliance is, and how you can showcase it. So my brilliance, my passion in my travel business, I focused on romance travel. So my ideal client were couples, honeymoon couples, anniversary couples, destination weddings, things like that. It was my passion because, I grew up with parents that were in love, loved each other, cherished each other. And I wanted to have that same thing, but I wanted to do it with someone I wanted to travel with. My parents didn't travel. So I was like, I'm going to showcase how people can not just fall in love, but stay in love. That was my tagline. And I took what me and my husband do, date nights, traveling together, and I would tell people, oh, every trip we go on is a honeymoon. I lived the brand in my life naturally. And that's how I got into that specialty and niche. But okay. So just saying you're going to specialize in cruises or in all inclusives, that is not really a specialty. You have to know the specialty and get a clear idea on who your client is, because once you know who your ideal client is, then you know who you're talking to. So let's use this example, for instance. Say you're going to open a clothing boutique store, okay? Nice boutique store with designer clothes, selling dresses for $3,000. Or are you going to open up a boutique store that sells activewear and loungewear? The way you talk to those 2 people in your branding and in your marketing is going to be completely different. You have to know who you're talking to so you can focus on that. So you can know what language to speak, right? Once you know your ideal client, you have to make sure that it all lines up. The branding, the message, the marketing, the way you talk to them, it needs to speak to them. They need to see it and say, oh, that's who I want to talk to. They're talking to me. They're talking right to me. You want your business cards to have that look of whatever it is you're selling. My business card had a big heart on it. with the heart, and it looked like it was a sunset heart, and it had my name in it in a very elegant print. So it wasn't the cheesy romance, right? But it was very elegant and looked very professional because it was professional. I hired a graphic designer to come up with a color palette, to come up with my logo, and to design my business cards. And I hired a graphic designer to create my website. And she, it wasn't a DIY website, and that's what you need to do. Yeah, it's easy to go on one of these easy DIY websites yourself, and you can make some pretty good looking websites on there. But you don't want to have ads popping up, or you don't want to do a website that your host agency provides, because then the website's about the host agency and not about you. We want you to showcase your brilliance and what you are selling. That's how people get to know you and trust you. And you are a consultant. You are an advisor. You're not a booking engine. You're not a reservationist, right? So you have to be consistent. You want to make things, and consistency is easy. Even it's all these little details that add up to the big result in your brand consistency. So even little details like your email address. You don't want to be Shannon@AOL.com and say, I'm a luxury travel advisor. Just like if I was the CEO of BMW, my email is going to say Shannon@BMW.com, not Shannon, CEO of BMW@gmail.com, right? What would you think? I'd be like, what's wrong with you? So think about how you present yourself. And then you want to have established systems in place. Because when you're booking trips, you might be booking 3 or 4 trips. Do you have pals on your desk? Do you have information in an Excel spreadsheet here, a Google Doc over here? Is it in a notebook? Do you have a manila folder with a filing cabinet? Where is it? Is it all in different places? Or do you have one streamlined process where you can pull up everything at your fingertips and know that you can type up an email for a campaign and hit a button that will go out to your client list? That's going to inspire them and show them that you are the expert. Your client list is gold. As you build it, as you grow it, just like you grow your business, this is something you want to make sure is streamlined and is in a good place, right? Good. All right. So let me know if you have any questions. You can just drop them in the comments. We're about to get into the 3 keys to success. All right. We're doing good. I just want to make sure. All right. I'm still laughing at that tariff comment. Bringing back some memories. So, yes, a lot of travel agents struggle. They say they don't have enough clients. Claudia's having struggle getting business back on the books. So maybe I hope this helps you, Claudia. We're going to dive into each of these separately. And I'm going to show you examples. And hopefully you can take something and put your spin on it and make it work for you. So let's talk about client attraction. Learning to attract your I'm reading Claudia's message. Do you include prospective clients with your regular clients? Yes, prospective clients definitely go on your list, Claudia. Absolutely. If you have permission, obviously, if you have permission to send them emails, they are on your list. So learning to attract the type of client that you are looking for. Relationship building. Learning what to do once you have the client and how to retain them and how to have amazing client care and how to continue to inspire them to book that next trip with you. And then number 3 is owning your value as a travel professional. And to me, this is the most important one of all, because if you don't have number 3, you will not do number 2 or number 1 successfully, if at all. If you don't own your value, if you don't showcase your expertise and let people realize that you are a serious travel advisor, and if you don't charge fees, they're not going to take you seriously. So you need to own your value before they can realize that you are a value. All right, so let's talk about mastering client attraction. You want to get in front of your ideal client. You don't want to get in front of everyone. Because like I said earlier, when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. Because the generalist is not going to succeed in this world, in the digital age that we are in. You don't need to limit yourself to your community or your pocketbook or your neighborhood. It's okay if you don't live in the country club. You can still have luxury clients. We are living in a digital world, and you can go beyond your geographical locations. You aren't a used car salesman where you have that windsock person that you have to put up to wave around and attract people. That's not how you're going to attract people, right? You can reach out to people digitally all over. When I had my travel business, I was booking a destination wedding for a bride, and I live in Louisiana. The bride lived in Texas. The mom was living in Perth, Australia, and we booked a wedding for 40 people in Puerto Rico. We didn't have to meet in person. We didn't have to go to Starbucks and have a meeting. They didn't have to come into my office to have a meeting. No one came into my office at home, as the dogs bark. You don't have to be in the same place, even if you're traveling. So another example I have is I was not reaching my ideal clients at the bridal shows I was doing. Or the trade shows. I was like, these are not my people. When you book the bridal shows here were free to brides. So I was getting brides that were looking for free stuff. I didn't give away my information for free. I mean, I did give information. When I was at bridal shows, I would talk with them and do consultations for free. But I was not getting my ideal client. So what I did, I had met up with a wedding planner who owned a high-end wedding planning business. So she was putting on her own bridal show. She was charging brides $75 to come. And this wasn't just a show. This was an event. So if you wanted to be a part of it, you had to pay a $3,000 sponsorship fee. You had to prepare, I think it was a 30-minute speech, because you were presenting to the bride. She was doing this big showcase. So I did a bridal show in Washington, D.C. that I paid $3,000 to be in. But I did it in a strategic way because I was scared as hell. I couldn't afford that. I didn't think I could. Why would I go to DC and talk to these brides? Why would somebody from Louisiana do that? Are they going to want to hear me? So I own my value because, yes, they do want to hear from me. I'm an expert. I collaborated with my host agency, and we talked to some of our preferred partners. Because of the relationships we have with them, I was able to get them to sponsor the segments. So that is how I paid for my entry fee. And it worked. It was the best investment I did in my business, besides hiring a business coach and joining the right host agency. But taking that step, and that was probably the moment I owned my value as an advisor, by going out on that limb and taking that scary step. But I went out, I'm going off course. I went out to there and I booked honeymoons that were 7 figures. They were my best honeymoon clients. They were luxury honeymoons. They were to Spain and St. Lucia and Curacao and Greece and Costa Rica. They were the exact honeymoons I'd been planning of dreaming with the dream clients. And it was because I stepped out of my comfort zone and I didn't limit myself. All right. So the future of clients now, and I mean, we are living in the Zoom age, right? Everybody's on Zoom. We're on Facebook Live. You can reach people in so many ways. And what's even better about it is the consumers are more comfortable with this way. They've got webcams, they've got headphones, they've got microphones. They get on their camera and FaceTime now. It's just become second nature because of the pandemic, really. So it's okay. You know, you're going to use this to your advantage. You don't have to be a social media expert. You have to be clear on who your client is and finding them. So I'm going to start giving you some examples of how some of our advisors are finding their clients. So this is the travel theory ladies. They are relatively new to the industry. They are in the Gifted Travel Network's Travel MBA program. And one lives in Seattle, one lives in Las Vegas. And they were super excited about a bridal show they wanted to do. Their website is polished. I love their logo. If you can see it on the screen, it's travel theory. There's no globe. There's no plane. It's clean, crisp, to the point. You know they're serious. You know they're poised. They're elegant. I mean, their brand, even it says Travel Theory, Luxury Travel Advisors. So what they did at this bridal show is they set it up very elegant. They had furniture where they could sit and the client or the prospective bride and groom could sit. They created a consultation area. They had no brochures from suppliers. They had pictures in their booth without tour destination logos stamped all over them. They just had pictures of travel inspiration. Africa, Greece, Italy, overwater bungalows. So, they were in pictures from Bora Bora. They were showing the pictures of the types of honeymoons that they're going to book. So they did this. It was a small bridal show, and they knew that going in, but it was one where the attendees had to pay a fee. I apologize for the background noise. But they qualified people there. They talked to them. They told them up front they charge fees. They told them how they work. They told them what to expect. And then if they wanted a deeper consultation, they could book that with them. That way they didn't have a lot of tire kickers and say, call them up after the show. Hey, I saw you at the bridal show. I want to book a honeymoon and go to Greece at an all-inclusive for $2,000. They already got past that. And they set the stage. So they got 60 plus emails at this show to put on their list, to put on their prospective lists. And they got the emails because they did a giveaway. I don't know if you can see, but there's a backpack on their table. So they gave away this nice backpack, a leather backpack was the prize. So in exchange for their email, they got to be entered for the drawing. So they got 60 plus new emails added to their list, and they got 6 next step consultations booked within the next 2 weeks. And I talked to them last week since this happened. And out of those 6 consultations, they've booked 4 honeymoons. So I say that's a pretty good return of investment, right? I think they did an excellent job. Then we have the Opulent Explorer. So the way he gets in front of his ideal client is he markets himself as a luxury client as well. He showcases things on his social media platforms. He does Facebook ads that target luxury clients. He has a very clear, opulent. That's a luxurious word. It says it right there. Again, see his logo is a compass. It's not the globe. It's not anything like that. So he piques people's interest with these beautiful images. And then he creates videos. I don't think it's going to show, but he creates luxury videos. Okay, it is showing. That he markets in his business. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but that's what he does. Let me plug this in. And he showcases his business this way. He put the video together very elegantly, and it's all luxury. He talks about his partners, African travel, London. He's got okay, for some reason I was muted. Sorry about that. Okay. So that music's going to stop in just a minute. And then this is another example. This is Julie J. Travel. And so what she does to get in front of, no, this isn't Julie J. I'm sorry. Julie J. is coming up. This is Candace. Candace Stearns. What she did over the pandemic is created a meetup group. And during 2020, she created this meetup group towards middle of 2020. She told me yesterday she has 1,500 people in this meetup group now because she kept it going. It's still going. It's been going for over a year. So it's a meetup group. If you're familiar with meetup.com. And so during the pandemic, up until just recently, they did virtual vacation nights. And she partnered with 3 other travel advisors, some in different cities. The other 2 were in different cities than she was. But they partnered up and each one would take turns hosting it. And this one was a Friendsgiving in-person event. So now they're doing virtual and in-person meetups. But what I love about this story, so this is how she got in front of her people, because people go on and they talk about eat, drink, travel. So people were in this group that like to eat, drink, and travel. And that's what she specializes in, culinary travel. So look at her here. This is her now. Well, it was yesterday or day before. In July of 2021, she said, I'm taking a group to Costa Rica. Who wants to come? We're going to look at the culinary side of Costa Rica, along with everything else Costa Rica has to offer. And this is just part of the group because the bus is full, but this is part of the group with the driver. So I think it's amazing. And she's already talking about her next group in February doing Caribbean culinary. So her meetup group is generating these groups that are happening, these trips that are happening now. And she's been posting about it on her social media. And I'm friends with her on Facebook and I see it. So I'm following along because I love Costa Rica. I mean, who doesn't? Following along and watching, and I see people commenting, oh, I want to go there for my 50th birthday. Can you put a group together for me? It's trickling. It's the ripple effect, right? It's happening. And she's being very successful in this. So mastering the relationship building, you need to stay top of mind to your clients. So you get this list, you've got this list of clients, of people that could be potential clients. Now, what do you do with it, right? How do you stay top of mind? So you need to leverage your email marketing. You need to use virtual events, in-person events, social media, and you need to be a source of information and inspiration. You don't need to be a salesperson. You can do that later, and that can come naturally without feeling like a salesperson, because I used to never consider myself a salesperson, but I was, and I did it successfully by not acting like a salesperson, I guess, because I was informative and I was inspiring and people wanted to book with me. And remain positive always, 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 always. We can highlight the doom and gloom of traveling with COVID because, people are traveling now while there's still a pandemic. It's going to hopefully soon turn into an epidemic, but We can talk about all that doom and gloom, but we don't need to. People already know about it. They hear way enough about that, right? Do you agree with me on that? We need to be the light. We need to be the positive thing that they hear. We need to let them know that it is okay to travel. And they can do so without the stress and the hassle because they have you. So I'm going to show you some examples of some advisors that are doing this really well. So one of our advisors of We Make Travel Easy with Sandy Lipkowitz, she stays in front of her clients by having a LinkedIn group. She's in California. She's got on LinkedIn and she's got a group going because she did a private charter. She said, I'm going to do a private charter on Ama Waterways, which is a luxury river cruise. And she chartered Ama Prima. And they're going to go to the Netherlands and see the beautiful flowers in bloom in May. Here's Julie J Travel. She stays front of mind with her clients by inviting them to a Milan cooking lunch and learn. So she leveraged her relationship with a Virtuoso partner, and got 2 Italian chefs to do a cooking demonstration. And they did that. And the lunch and learn was learning how to cook and learning about Julie J Travel and traveling to Milan with her. And she booked some trips out of this. She inspired some of her clients that she invited to this. She helped them to decide that they wanted to go. And that was a good idea. And she showcased herself by showing her connections, right? Oops. So the next thing is the emails. Send an email out every week to your clients. We call it an e-zine, an electronic magazine. It's an electronic newsletter. And a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bother them every week. You're not bothering them. And there's a chance they may not even open it, but it's in your email. It's in their email box and they're seeing your name pop up and your business name pop up and they know you're there. Do you stop by the donut shop every time you pass by it on the way to the cleaners? No, but you know it's there because you see it and you see the name. And when you do want a donut, you go to it. I remember I had a client who replied to one of my weekly emails that I sent him. It was 2021. He replied to one from 2019. Isn't that crazy? I was in his email box and he was able to reply and say, I want to book a trip now. Can you help me? It works. You have to be in there. You have to stay top of mind. Now, what do you put in this e-zine? Well, you put inspiration. I'm reading Vanessa's comment. Yes, it is. Forward bookings from partners, travel suppliers show that Europe is selling out for summer. Luxury properties for domestic spring break is hard to secure rooms. Americans are booking travel. The boom is here. Yes, Vanessa, it's here. It's here. I told them, I don't know if you were on the call earlier, but I told them about VIP travel experience booking 13 bookings from National Plan a Vacation Day, right? So the e-zines, just inspire them. Be positive. I love how Sterling Journey's e-zine says, are you ready for a winter break, a break from winter? It's February, and the winter has been cold and plentiful this year. It's cold, snowy, and raining where you are. We know how you feel. Actually, no, I don't really. I live in sunny South Florida, where I might say I know how you feel. So while I might say I know how you feel, I'm dealing with balmy, breezy sunshine. But I can imagine that you may be ready to get a little vitamin D yourself. That's so much better than reading a boring email and hearing about all the sales and specials, right? And then look at Opulent Finch. I love how they showcase they are adventure travelers. What's your next adventure? And she's laying on the ground with a camel in the desert. She showcases that her connection is with Virtuoso Adventure Travel, her branding, everything's clean. And in the e-zine, she goes on to write a blog on what's hot in adventure travel right now. She doesn't talk about pricing. She doesn't say, book your trip with me. She does say later on, if you'd like a a complimentary consultation, please contact me. But she doesn't give pricing and say, Egypt's on sale for $10.99, book now. It's not about that. She wants to qualify the clients and see what they're doing, what they're looking for. Owning your value. All right, I'm going to try not to get too preachy on this. And we've only got 10 minutes left, unless we got a lot of questions, but I'm going to try to wrap it up in an hour. So I'm not going to get too preachy on this, but you are an expert. Travel advisors are experts, and showcasing your brilliance and your credibility is going to attract the right clients. You have to have the confidence in yourself. And it's not about experience. I don't care if you open up your business tomorrow and say, I'm a travel agent. You should never call yourself a newbie, because you have to have the confidence that you are surrounded by the right people, that you have the right support to get the answers for the clients that you're looking for. It's not about experience. It's about your access, and it's about who you know. And each one of us has a special brilliance that is part of how you find your niche and how you showcase it, how you show up. This is what gives you the credibility. Now, there are right ways and wrong ways to do this, of course. You don't want to come off as overly boisterous. You don't want to be a know-it-all. You are selling luxury travel. You are selling a high-ticket item, right? You are making dreams come true. You are connecting people. You're bringing families together. Couples are experiencing, this new destination together for the first time. You're selling specialty travel. So you want to appear that way. You want to walk the talk and talk the walk. And there's so many creative ways to do this. Let me show you. Media. You can get into the media very easily. Very easily. It's so much easier than you think. And you don't have to be afraid, because you can get on radios, podcasts, local news. These people are looking for guest speakers. They're looking for stories. And if you put the right spin on it, if you come across as you're an expert, they will talk to you. They will showcase you. They will feature you. They will interview you. Hortensia Blue Travel Adventures, Lainey, was on Remarkable Women Radio. So not only did she get the exposure on the radio show, she got to share this with her followers and say, look, this radio show seeked me out to be the expert. And I talked about traveling in a post-COVID world. She didn't get on the radio show and talked about book your travel with me because I know everything there is about Italy and I can get you the best deals and you need to book with me. She didn't talk about that at all. Now, I didn't hear the radio show, but I know Lainey and I know how she works and I know why she is in our top 10. It's because of the way she does things. It's because of the strategic planning that she does. It's because of the virtual events she did during the pandemic and got the author of Eat, Pray, Love to do a Zoom call with her and do a cooking demonstration, and had this, I forgot how many people she had on that Zoom, but she was the expert. She did the things that we taught her at the host agency, and she did them successfully, and she is reaping the rewards now with that. And you're probably saying, well, how do I do this? You can. I was featured in Martha Stewart's wedding. I was quoted in Martha Stewart's wedding. Now, Martha Stewart didn't call me up and say, hey, Shannon, it's Martha. It's not how it happened. There's so many outlets. There's a website called Haro, Haro, and it's Help a Hero Out. So they put up postings and you can answer them. So if you answer them and you have what the information they want as a reporter, they'll contact you. So like I said, I put the spin on the story that they were looking for and the reporter contacted me. And so I was featured in Martha Stewart, weddings.com, The Knot, a couple of things like that. And I was able to tell people and show it on my social media, in my emails. I mean, if you tell people you were featured in the New York Times, they're going to be like, oh, well, she might know what she's talking about, right? And it's not bragging if it's true. You are showing your expertise. You're showing your brilliance. That's why you want to do this. Do these sorts of things. Show up as the expert. And even show what other people are saying about you. If you're getting a review, if you're getting somebody to post about you on Facebook, reuse it. Repurpose that content and do it in a humble and grateful way, just like VIP Travel Experience did. We simply love our jobs, but more importantly, we love our clients. Thank you for your kind words. And so if you're somebody else reading this, thinking about a trip, oh, look at this. Other people are saying good things about this company. Maybe I should look into them. Then you go to their website, and then you see they have, I don't know, something to entice you to sign up for their newsletter, like hidden gems in Italy that only I know about. Sign up for it. And you sign up for it. And then you start getting their email every week with all these amazing content about Italy. Then you're ready to book a trip with them. They're ready to book a trip with you. That's how you do this sort of thing. And then I love how our friend Elizabeth really showcases her expertise. She tells you who, what, and why, right? She just gets down to the nitty gritty. She says, straight from Antigua to dinner with the chair in head tourism for Anguilla. Why? Because on Monday, they changed the protocols starting next month, and I have questions. That is why you work with me. I know who to call when the bleep hits the fan. And also, they know the secret spots for jumping into clear blue waters. And then the picture she has is her, the director, the chairman. She knows it's about the connections and who you know. And you know why she's there at this tourism board event? It's because she is connected with the Virtuoso Host Agency and was invited to go to this event and meet these people. She leveraged her connections. She leveraged her ability, the way she was able to go there and do this. And then she used it to show her expertise, right? This is where community matters. You're supporting these clients. You're struggling. You're trying to find clients. And when you do find them, how do you support them? So it's about who supports you, right? It is. It's about who supports you. So who is supporting you? You know, I wouldn't have gotten to be a travel entrepreneur, a successful travel business owner, and boost my sales 300% in 1 year if I didn't have the community that I had and that the community I'm in now. You know, there were times I went there crying because things weren't working right. And I just needed that support. And there were times that people asked questions about destinations that I was familiar in. So I was able to support and help other advisors in my community. And, you know, it's about finding that community. I mean, you sit here, most travel advisors are sitting at a home office by themselves. Okay, maybe the dogs are laying around barking. You might have some kids or two running around. But your work environment is even lonelier than the old cubicles, right? It can be a very lonely job. So finding the community that you have at your fingertips, where you can go into a private Facebook group and ask a question, where you can hop on a Facebook Messenger with one of the members and say, can we chat? You can fly into any city in the United States and say, hey, who's with this? Who lives here? Who wants to meet for coffee or a drink? And be supported in your business. And they're not just there, you know, it's not a competitive community that you're looking for. You are looking for a community that will empower you, support you, and help you be the best that you can be. A rising tide lifts all boats. And once you find that community and realize that you are in your home, you will know it. You will feel it. And once you lean into these strategies and more, you will see the success and feel the success that I personally experienced. So, where is this taking us? It's going to take you to the Bookmore Travel Workshop, March 1st through the 3rd. It's a virtual event. I'm your host and MC of it, and it is going to be fabulous. You are going to learn so much. You're going to hear from so many people that were in your shoes or just starting in the travel business. Heather, my colleague, has put the link in the comments. So all you need to do is go to bookmoretravelworkshop.com and sign up. Invest the $99 in your business. It's worth it. It's 3 days virtual right here at your computer, on your phone, on your iPad, wherever you can be virtually. We're there. We're with you. You're going to hear from keynote speakers. The co-founders of Gifted Travel Network are going to talk about how to be successful in your travel business. We have 2 tracks that you can take, 2 levels. So if you're just starting out, you can go to the events that are all about level 1. What do travel agents actually do? What are tips in social media that you can do immediately? Or you can go to level 2, how to make 6 figures in the travel business. And you can, because we have advisors that are doing it. So all of the information about the agenda is on the site, bookmoretravelworkshop.com. It's $99. Or you can upgrade to the All Access Pass, which I highly recommend you do, because you get added bonuses like the recordings. So if you're doing level 1, you can get the recordings for level 2 or vice versa. You get digital workbook, you get some digital swag, which is pretty cool, and you get qualified for prizes. But I know what we'll do too. So I want you to experience the all access. So whoever signs up today for Bookmore Travel Workshop pays the $99. The first 5 people that sign up today will get bumped up to all access pass. Okay, so go to Bookmore Travel Workshop, put in your credit card for the $99. You'll get the all access pass if you're one of the first 5. And Heather, who commented, she's going to keep track of who that is, and she'll email you and let you know that you have the all access pass. And I want to see you there. I want to share more with you. I want you to see the peers that I have the privilege of being with and supporting. And I want you to hear from my team members that have such brilliance and such insight. We're going to talk about how to leverage your partners. We're going to talk about so many things that you need to know in the travel industry that you don't get in the online supplier certification trainings. We are going to talk about how to successfully build your travel business. So join me and many others like you at the Bookmore Travel Workshop. Do we have any more questions? I'm watching the comments. Again, if you're watching the replay, thank you for still being here with me and watching the replay. The first 5 to sign up today, February 10th, will get the All Access Pass upgrade complimentary. You tell them Shannon said. Remember, it's about who you know. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I look forward to seeing you at Bookmore Travel Workshop. Thanks.